Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson tape live, at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. After a god-awful showing last week, Larson Smackdown came back with a pretty decent episode as Braun Strowman became a monster once again. Asuka made a rare blue brand appearance, and another match stipulation was confirmed for the horror show at Extreme Rules. But first, hoo boy, how about that AJ Styles Matt Riddle Intercontinental match?
Yeah, it was decent enough. It was pretty good.
I was like, my intro was always hyping something up, and then I always throw to you, and you say, yeah, that was good. It was good enough.
Bad. It was
good enough.
I actually thought their first match was better. A couple weeks back.
Yeah, it was. So this match, I wonder if it would have been booked differently if Riddle was booked to win, like the entire match, because the entire thing was just AJ Styles not being able to figure out Matt Riddle and sneaking away with a win. But that being said, man, I thought that SmackDown in general was actually a pretty damn good show.
Yeah, it was all right.
I'm going to need a little bit more than that, buddy. Going to need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it was all right. It was kind of a weird way to end it where everybody submitted their Matt Chat questions. Or, sorry, to start it. Everybody had their Matt Chat questions to start the show.
Yeah, it was
AJ, then Riddle, then Daniel Bryan, like a literal Matt Chat question from Daniel Bryan. Let's say there was some fun bits, but it was an interesting approach to take the opening of the show. They're trying something new. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, they're trying something new. I thought that was fine. I thought there was actually a lot to like about SmackDown tonight. I thought it was like way better than last week's.
Well, the bar was set pretty low with last week.
Yeah, I know. I was even surprised. I was surprised they even brought up that karaoke thing again.
Yeah, I know. They had a whole, what's it called? Game Flow?
It was the Flow Jam of the Week or whatever it was.
Whatever it is, yeah. Yeah, they should have focused on another segment from last week, but I guess there's not a whole lot to choose from. Yeah. Last week, Cross War was pretty bad. I guess the two major storylines coming out of this is that we got confirmation SmackDown tag titles will be on the line. Stipulation was decided tonight, and unsurprisingly, it will be a tables match.
Yeah.
So Cesaro beat Big E, and thus got to pick the stipulation. And then later on in the show, he said, yes, tables match. Not a huge surprise. And I guess the major one was Braun basically reverting back to his Wyatt family days. Why are you making that face?
I'm looking for the poll that they talked about.
Which
for
poll?
the remember they said that they ran a poll for the stipulation for the tag team match. They said they ran a poll, and it was between tables match and steel cage, and that the poll was too close. Even though, if you're going by actual numbers, unless they're actually tied, I mean, it's fine if they're close, but one is going to win. It's a poll is a poll, I mean, maybe there's a margin of error there. I don't know.
I'm going to break it to you. I don't think there was a poll, Steve.
Well, that's what I was looking for, because it was like, okay, number one, if there was a poll, they kayfabed it. Like, that's not real. Because I would much...
They kayfabed the poll. That's the thing.
But I want to see if the kayfabe poll is online, because sometimes WWE.com is kayfabe.
No, what I'm saying, the existence of the poll is kayfabe. That's what I'm saying. Not the results, the existence of it.
Well, that's what I was checking on. I want to see. Darn
it's not there. Kayfabe, man. Doesn't exist. The other major thing would be Braun Strowman reverting to his Wyatt family incarnation. He seems to be losing his mind a little bit. He's kind of reverting back to old habits. He's the monster again, and it seems to me that Bray is more concerned at this juncture with tearing down the Braun Strowman that we know in an effort to ultimately defeat him. So I feel pretty good about my prediction, which is going to go up tomorrow, about who's going to win the Swamp Fight. Feel pretty good about it coming out of this episode. because it's not about winning the battle, it's about winning the war.
Man, Braun Strowman. I know a lot of people liked his promo from a couple weeks ago. I thought it was still crap. But tonight, holy moly.
I thought to smile.
His promo, yeah, but he acts like, dude, there's been times he doesn't smile. He didn't smile that time they did the split screen interview with him and Brock Lesnar, and he was still stumbling like a fool.
Well,
tonight,
he literally forgot his lines that time.
He didn't forget his lines tonight, Larson.
No, he just ran right through him.
I know, but man, if that's what he has to do, that stuff worked. That stuff worked really well. Anyway,
he basically was a Micro Machine Man, that promo. Remember those commercials?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I love those commercials because that guy kind of gave me anxiety.
Because he talks so fast.
Too fast. Like, slow it down a little bit. I
kind of felt like Braun could have slowed it down a little bit.
Oh no,
just
man.
a little bit.
He was so sweaty. He changed his hair too.
Yeah, no, he let his hair grow out and his beard grow out like his Wyatt family days.
I know. That's so cool. It seemed that dude.
Yeah, it's cool. I appreciate the details, the attention to details, and the storytelling. I appreciate that.
I feel like you just didn't feel the episode tonight.
No, it was fine.
I feel like
you want me to say it's the best episode of SmackDown ever? I said it was fine. I said it was enjoyable.
No, I don't care. No, I don't care. It's just you seem very hesitant to like talk about it.
I just spent the last 2 minutes talking about Braun's promo.
Okay, all right. Well, go ahead and kick off the episode for us then, Larson.
Sure. Matt Check question. So here we go. First, it was AJ Styles who's talking about defending the Intercontinental title against Matt Riddle. Saying last time Riddle beat me because of the element of surprise. Be no surprises tonight. He's going to win, he thought. We get a Matt Riddle promo. It's like, what does AJ stand for? Arrogant jackass? I'm out to prove last time was no fluke, and after I win the title, I'll be the bro that runs the show. And then Daniel Bryan, I assume is somewhere in the woods of Washington, predicts there will be a new champion tonight. Alexa Bliss then hypes the mystery guest she's having for Moment of Bliss tonight. We get a fun bit between Miz and John Morrison, where Miz asks Morrison if he's afraid to fight Braun, and he's like, what, because Braun's so large? No, he tells a story about how he essentially got in a fight against Jean-Claude Van Damme on his yacht in Cannes, which is pretty funny, actually. And then Miz circles back around and says, so are you scared to fight Braun? And then Morrison goes, scared, terrified. And then we go to Braun, says the horror show might start tonight. We go to Nakamura and Cesaro. Nakamura says they're going to become tag champions Sunday. And Cesaro says, and they'll get to choose the stipulation when he beats Big E tonight. Go to the New Day. They say Cesaro and Nakamura aren't winning Sunday or tonight. Big E says, I know why they call Cesaro the Swiss Superman. He said, it's a bird, it's a plane. Oh no, my fist is Cesaro's Lois Lane. And then we kick off the show with Big E versus Cesaro.
Yes. It was a good match. And that's when they started talking about that weird poll that apparently never happened. I'm still going to try to find that damn thing. They can't just say that there was a poll and then not actually have a poll. Well, aren't WWE fans all over the place looking for a damn poll?
Sorry, their Twitter?
Nah, man, that place is a mess. I don't know how far back I'd have to go for that. I'd rather see a freaking steel cage. I don't think it would be even close. So anyways, how many stars did I give this? I gave this 2.5 stars, Larson.
Okay, tell me why.
Because I thought it was worth 2.5 stars.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some criteria.
Yeah, I thought that it was better than 1 star. It was better than 2 stars, but it wasn't quite as good as 3 stars.
Oh, my goodness.
What? You asked me for criteria on the match. I just told you what it was.
No,
I thought it was better than 2 stars.
It has to hit this to do that. No, you're telling me the
but less than 3.
The specifics of your rankings. I understand the math that 2 is more than 1, but less is 3. That's math. That's not criteria.
Right. That's right.
That's not criteria.
2.5 stars. That's how much it got.
Enforcer says 2.5 horses.
Yeah, that's good too. So anyways, the finish saw, let's see here. Nakamura came out. He laid out Kofi. Well, they both came out with their guys. Nakamura lays out Kofi Kingston, taunts Big E. Big E powers Cesaro up on his shoulders, but then sort of like swings him around, or he gets swung around a little bit so that the ref, Jess, ducks out of the way. While she's not paying attention, Nakamura strikes Big E. Cesaro gets the neutralizer for the win. And then they attack, they go grab the tables from under the ring. And then as they're doing that, Kofi launches himself over the top rope onto Cesaro and Nakamura. That was pretty rad. Big E comes over to help out, lays out Nakamura, keeps him down rather. Kofi gets a table out. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, you got to be careful with this, Kofi, because you got to think of the math here. If you stand tall, they're going to win at the horror show at Extreme Rules. And it's sort of, I mean, the bad guys got away. Big E and Kofi did sort of stand tall there. So
it wasn't as definitive as someone going through a table, though.
No, but I mean, come on, Kofi, that spot was going to be nasty if he actually launched off of Big E's shoulders off the apron.
Oh, that would have been great, though.
We'll probably see that at Extreme Rules.
It's a good chance.
I'm sorry, the horror show at Extreme Rules. So yeah, 2.5 stars. There you go. I just recounted the match.
What do you give Baron Corbin's interview here?
I'm glad you asked, because before the interview even started, as soon as I saw him, I gave it a half star, Larson.
All right, now I
don't do duds. Everything has worth. No, I'm not giving anything minus stars. Half stars the worst you can get.
I feel like say Bayley, this is your life. That is deserving of dud or minus star status, because that's like time I feel like was just wasted.
Well, that's like special circumstances, you know. But I can't be doling out duds to everything. Just because Corbin shows, I'm not going to give him a dud. He actually showed up to work. Everybody's got COVID, and he's showing up, risking his life for my entertainment. I'm at least going to give him half a star, Larson.
All right. You're perhaps too fair. Anyway, so Kayla asked him about his antagonistic relationship with Matt Riddle. Corbin interrupts her, says Riddle attacked him. He started it. Then he's asked about the Intercontinental title match tonight. Who you got? He says AJ is one of the best to step in the ring. While Riddle can't even put his shoes on, it'll be quick, decisive. AJ's going to retain. Listen, Matt Riddle's ambitious. Everything so far has gone right for him. But it's the honeymoon phase. He's playing with fire, and he's going to get burned. After AJ wins, everyone's going to realize that the bro is nothing but a little boy.
He didn't stumble. He remembered all of his lines. He had like a minute of dialogue. That's worth half a star, Larson.
Next, Cesaro and Nakamura backstage. Cesaro's like, hey, we're finally getting the respect that we deserve, and we've earned it. What type of stipulation should we choose? Nakamura says steel cage is unforgiving. And Cesaro...
This was weird. Cesaro didn't like the idea that Big E would start having sex with the cage.
Start grinding on it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is that like
weird.
Something that's going to happen? Like, I mean, I know Big E likes to, undulate. But,
yeah.
But I mean, he does that with everything. Why wouldn't he do that with a table?
Yeah, I know. It didn't make any sense. And it seemed like even Cesaro realized it was a nonsensical thing. But he said he really enjoyed smashing the New Day through that table a couple weeks back. He wants to repeat that sensation, that feeling this Sunday. Tables match it is.
After that, we had a moment of bliss with special guest Vacant, or at least that's what we were led to believe. Alexa and Nikki Cross, they talk about the 5-year anniversary of the women's evolution. Alexa Bliss starts talking about Nostradamus, says she's a clairvoyant, calls herself Blisterdamus. And then she starts reading her metaphorical tea leaves. She predicts a win for Braun Strowman. She predicts some other stuff. Forget what.
Lakers win the finals. Riddle wins the Intercontinental title. Braun wins Extreme Rules. And she predicts that her special mystery guest is going to tear the roof off the Performance Center on Sunday.
And Nikki thinks that she's the guest, and she's great. She just starts going on about various stuff. And Alexa's like, whoa, I'm sorry, you're not the guest. But then before she's able to announce the guest, Bayley and Sasha come out. So they just start talking crap to Nikki, saying, yeah, you're going to lose your crap. They want the credit for the women's evolution. They said they built that ring, metaphorically speaking. People were booing, but they're totally right. They totally did. They get in the ring. Bayley shoos away a camera guy. And then, of course, they predict they're going to get the win at the horror show at Extreme Rules. And right as they're about to get into it, they're taunting Alexa and Nikki. We find out, or Alexa says, hey, you didn't let me finish. This is my special guest over here. Asuka's theme hits. I was so happy to see her. That was awesome. And it got me thinking, man, I don't know. Did Asuka and Nikki Cross, they ever have like a match? Because I feel like that'd be really good if they did. They start brawling. I give that whole segment 2.5 stars, Larson. After that, we see Matt Riddle and Drew Gulak preparing for Matt Riddle's match. Gulak, now coach to Matt Riddle, seemingly. Also at commentary on 205 Live. We get another Daniel Bryan Matt chat from the tree, and he's got Matt Riddle winning that match. We come back to the ring. Lo and behold, tag team action. The two challengers. The Raw champion and the challenger, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Nikki Cross, and Asuka versus Sasha and Bayley.
Correct. So Bayley's like, I want a piece of Nikki to start. She gets it. Nikki is tagged in. Heels are in control for quite a stretch. Actually, a good portion of the match, they were in control. Towards the end, though, Bayley gets the tag back in. She goes up top. Nikki knocks her off. She's looking for a draping neck breaker. Bayley escapes that. Tosses Nikki from the ring. Nikki hits a shot to her throat, falls with a tornado DT off the table. Back of the ring, gets 2 counts because Sasha breaks it up. Sasha and Asuka are brawling. Sasha kicks her out of the ring, and then Bayley's looking for a tag. Instead, Sasha runs off the apron and hits a meteor on Asuka. So Nikki's, she's looking for another DDT. Bayley escapes that, rolls up Nikki, puts her feet on the ropes, gets the win. Earlier on, though, this is a great bit before they go to commercial, where Nikki and Asuka, they're standing tall at the announce table and they start dancing together.
That was good stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good stuff. I gave this match 3 stars, Larson. Uh-oh. Looks like you just froze. I've probably frozen for you as well because that's how Zoom is working these days.
That was fun stuff. So if... Yeah, you have frozen for me. No, you're back.
The sequence of your video coming back like into real time from my perspective and from everybody's perspective is pretty funny.
So you just freeze and then you're back. There's no makeup from like all the frames that have transpired between the freezing and the unfreezing. I don't get those back.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way I perceive it is canon. Because that's what's being recorded.
No, I'm not doubting your perception of what's going on. I'm relating my own experience.
Oh, man.
So anyways, math would indicate that Bayley's losing on Sunday, however.
So the math's not always right, but also...
No, it's like good, like 65%.
Well, no, actually, no, it's totally not true anyways, because Nikki later on basically gets the upper hand on Bayley. Because she attacks her backstage.
True. Right, so she does stand tall.
If she only hadn't have done that, I might have been like, oh, I regret my decision for the predictions, which are going up tomorrow afternoon. Because Nikki's promo afterwards, like a little bit later, we can fast forward a little bit. We see Nikki and Alexa Bliss backstage, and Nikki has like 0 confidence going into this match, which was like, I was like, wait a second, they might actually pull the trigger. Dude, I know I'm with you when you say that Sasha is probably going to be the person to take that title off Bayley. That ain't happening anytime soon. I don't think that's going to happen at SummerSlam. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. Sasha is so firmly like a heel, and yeah, they could turn her if Bayley accidentally screws up her shot against Asuka.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime. I think
there's been a lot of little subtle things. Anytime or a lot of times where they're posing somewhere and Bayley's holding up that belt with Sasha looking at the women's title.
Yeah, I know. She grabbed it again today when they got attacked. I'm just saying. A couple
weeks ago, she had it around her waist. There's little subtle hints.
I would be kind of. I mean, maybe it'll happen at SummerSlam. Maybe it will.
They'll probably wait until when they can do shows in front of fans again.
I would think that'd probably be the case. Probably.
We're going to be waiting a while if that's the case. Anyways, next we got Miz and Morrison backstage. Miz is trying to convince Morrison that Braun's not so scary. Morrison is like, what are you talking about? He's like 380 pounds of all muscle. He's a monster among men. And Miz says, well, you know, in horror movies, it's the hero, there's always this hero that slays the monster. And Morrison, John, you're that hero. And Morrison says, okay, yeah, well, every hero has a best friend that steps up in case the hero can't do it, can't win. And Miz is like, well, not that familiar with horror movies after all.
After that, we had Bray. He's home. He's at the Swamp Thing, and he's got his old his old Waylon Mercy outfit on. And he sort of talks up Braun's origin story, talks about the swamp being a special place. An evil place, man. You can't you can't leave here once you get here, man. You show up and you don't leave. So yeah, that was good stuff.
That was good stuff. We got Morrison versus Braun. Braun has a promo, as mentioned earlier. His hair is filling on the sides. It's not shaved like it was. His beard a little bit longer. Doesn't look like he's brushed it or combed it.
Everything
looking
about
more and more like Braun as member of Wyatt family.
This entire thing was great, man. Everything about this, from his promo to, so he delivers this great promo. He's got this weird look. He's talking about the Fiend being the living embodiment of his demons, of everything he's ever done wrong, and he needs to purge himself of the Fiend. But of course, he's not fighting the Fiend in the swamp. He's fighting old school Bray Wyatt. Waylon Mercy, Bray Wyatt.
But he also says, I need to defeat Bray now before I have to face the Fiend.
Yeah. So he says, let's get this done with. And so he's just a sweaty, destructive monster mess, right? And Morrison and Miz both did such a damn good job selling how terrifying Braun Strowman can be and was tonight. The look of concern on Miz's face. There wasn't any hint that he was going to get involved. He was just watching his best friend get annihilated. And Morrison sold so much for Braun. This was borderline disturbing to watch. This was so good. Braun obviously got the one with the power slam, but at one point he had him in a bear hug, whatever.
The arm triangle thing.
The arm triangle,
his old
standing.
His old finish back in the Wyatt family days. Yeah.
Right. So he had Morrison in that. Of course, Morrison's like the perfect person to be selling for this. And he ends up eating a nasty power slam for the win for Braun. And at the end of that, Braun gets on the mic. He calls out Bray again. He starts doing a really creepy laugh. And then he leaves. Miz starts calling for medics to get down there to help out with Morrison, which I thought was a great touch. I gave this match 4 stars, Larson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
4-star squash match.
Yeah, it's great.
After that, we got the karaoke showdown recap, and then Lacey Evans versus Naomi. Lacey delivered a 1-sentence promo.
I like that Lacey didn't even wait for Miz and Morrison to be gone completely.
No, she just came on down.
Yeah.
She said after tonight, Naomi's glow will be nothing but a little sparkle. Match begins.
She did a Brutus laugh after that. She went, yeah. No, it was a Popeye laugh.
Yeah, Popeye. So Lacey goes for a moonsault. Naomi gets her knees up. She hits the splits on Lacey. That earns her a 2 count. She tries to kick Lacey. Lacey catches it. Lacey goes for a woman's right. Naomi ducks. Hits Lacey with the Rana. Kicks Lacey while she's on the apron. And then Lacey ties Naomi's hair to the middle rope. So the ref is there trying to undo all that. Naomi turns around. Bang. Gets hit with a woman's right. Lacey wins.
Got 2 stars for this match, Larson.
All right.
I really liked the finish. I thought it was clever.
It was clever.
Because she tied her hair up, and then she gets out and just gets punched in the face.
Yes.
That was very clever. Although I should have knocked a star off for them doing the flow jam of the week and referencing that stupid karaoke segment again.
Well, that's not the fault of the creative of that. It's not the fault of the performers.
Well,
you got to take each match.
Yeah. The strength of the match isn't necessarily all in the performers either. There are people involved with the creative aspects of the match as well.
Did they reference during the actual
effort.
match the karaoke thing at all? I don't remember.
During the match?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a pretty quick match.
It was a pretty quick match.
I imagine they did because I
Maybe.
was directly involved in the story here.
Yeah. Next, we had a Jeff Hardy interview. He's asked, why did you accept Bar Fight Challenge? He says, fighting a bully like Sheamus is like fighting addiction. You can't run from it. You have to face it and fight it each and every day. Yeah, it's risky walking into a bar, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. And he is asked about the Intercontinental title match in the main event tonight. He mentions that he was in the Intercontinental title tournament until the situation with the car accident outside the Performance Center happened, which took him out of that tournament. He says, I could be in the main event tonight. And as he's finishing that up, he gets hit with a bro kick.
That was pretty rad.
Right side of the screen.
It was like a cowboy boot just out of nowhere because they did a really good job of very slowly zooming in on Jeff Hardy. And all of a sudden you see this giant boot just hit him in the head. Somebody was watching NXT this week, apparently.
Yeah. And so Sheamus comes in. He has a mic on him. Says, "You can't run and hide from it, Jeff. Can't wish it away. I'll cleanse you of your demons. I'll see you on SmackDown next week." So it seems like the bar fight's going to happen next week on SmackDown, not at the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
By WWE.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Or it's going to make for a really crappy SmackDown next week.
It'll probably be the main event of SmackDown next week.
Yeah, probably.
And hopefully after that match, that'll be the last of that feud. We had a Sasha and Bayley interview next. They're asked, will this momentum carry on to Sunday? Bayley says yes. No one has more momentum than she does. Because you know what momentum is? Momentum is mass plus velocity.
Dude, okay, hold on a second.
What?
Remember when, what was another one of these overwritten promos? The Street Profits. Didn't Angelo Dawkins?
Oh, yeah.
Whoever wrote that crap wrote this crap. The difference is Bayley actually delivered it pretty well.
I thought the delivery saved it because I thought it was actually pretty good.
The delivery absolutely saved it, but whoever is overwriting this stuff, the only way this stuff works is if it's delivered by somebody who's really good at delivering stuff, because this was totally overwritten.
Delivery was great. She says, yeah, momentum is mass plus velocity. When I got these belt here, I literally have more mass than Nikki. It's science, but that's only half the equation. She defers to Sasha. Sasha talks about, yeah, when I beat Asuka, it's not going to be science, it's going to be fate. And then we go nearby, Nikki and Alexa, they're talking. Nikki's talking about how she thought she blew it tonight. She questions herself, will I blow it on Sunday? Alexa says, no. And Nikki says, I got friends and family in Scotland, and they watch every week, and they just watch me lose. My confidence is shaken. And Alexa tells her, no, you're going to beat Bayley on Sunday. And then they hear Sasha and Bayley down the hallway. And then Nikki sprints after him, lays out Bayley. Sasha tries to separate him. Can't do it. Alexa comes in, breaks it all up.
Yep. So
and then they decide to... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that might make the math pretty difficult for Nikki. But I don't know, man. Given the way she was talking, either they're going to do a whole crisis of competence thing with her and Alexa's going to turn on her or something like that, which I think would be a shame. They might do that. Although they seem to really like Nikki, so I'm fairly confident they'll continue to use her. I feel like it's
be a thing where she's going to have the match won only for Bayley to cheat and pull it out at the end.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, but that's already happened. Like, who did Nikki fight last week? Oh, it was her and was it her and Alexa versus Sasha and Bayley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she ended up beating the pin on that one, I think. So yeah, she needs to get it. She'll either they'll make it a story or they won't, or she'll get this win.
Next, we had a replay of AJ and Matt Riddle's promos that began the show. Sorry, they're Matt Chat questions that started the show.
I know Matt Riddle just slow talking to the camera. He's so not used to like cheesy, like just look at the camera and say a cheesy promo.
Mm-hmm. And then a quick shot of Matt Riddle walking backstage. Go to commercial, come back. It's time for our main event, Intercontinental title match, Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles. I feel like AJ should have the old school Intercontinental title around his waist.
Yeah, it'd look cool. This belt's all right, though.
Yeah. It's all right.
How many stars do you give this belt, man?
2.5.
Why is that?
It's kind of middle of the road.
Wrong answer. It's because it's more than 2, less than 3.
See, I have criteria. I have reasons why I give something.
Middle of the road, great criteria.
Middle of the road is average, mediocre.
Yeah, this is a good match, though. So basically, we mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Like, the story of this was just AJ trying to figure out Matt Riddle, and at the beginning, he really can't. And he gets so frustrated at one point, he starts banging on the table. Matt Riddle comes out, mocks him. AJ tries to, like, get him back for mocking him, just eats a foot.
That was, like, really early, too. That was really early in the match. That was before the first commercial break.
Yeah, but I mean, the rest of the match was basically like that. Like AJ would come back, and then as soon as it was kind of like that Io Shirai match and Tegan Nox. Like as soon as AJ would come back, Matt Riddle would just put him back down again.
The best chance AJ had is when he locked him in a calf crusher for a spell. But then Riddle reversed that to a bro mission. AJ escapes that and then rolls up Matt Riddle for the win.
That brain buster over the top rope was freaking
great.
amazing. That was great. Yeah.
That was great. AJ's got a good brain buster. All in all, a fun match. I thought their match a couple weeks back better was had more excitement behind it.
I gave this 4.5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is 5 your upper limit?
I don't know. Not really sure. I'll figure it out.
Again, criteria. You kind of need to know what the upper limit is.
I mean, this isn't your star system, so don't tell me what to do with my star system, please.
Well, I think if you want the star system to have
I'm sorry, do you have star systems in your notes?
No, because
Okay.
I feel like people could subjectively rate things how they want to, and I'm not an authority in anything, so I don't.
You're not?
No.
Are you a charlatan, Larson?
No, I'm not a charlatan. I'm a guy who watches pro wrestling and talks about it. And
Are you a
what I enjoy.
flim-flam man?
No, I am not a snake oil salesman.
Are you a
none of those
tonic
things.
salesman?
I am not.
Are
I'm
you
not
going
a
to offer me
confidence man.
some brain tonic, Larson?
No, I'm not. I will offer you my opinions. You could take it, or you could take it with a grain of salt, or you can appreciate it. But,
So,
no way in authority.
After the match, they shake hands, and everything's great. But then stupid Baron Corbin comes in. He attacks Matt Riddle from behind, gets on him, ground and pound, end of days. AJ Styles slinks away during all that, and then there we go. That's your match.
That's your match. And that's your SmackDown. Do you give star ratings to entire shows?
Not yet, but it's early in the star system history. This is the first episode.
I feel like that's something you should consider, because that's something that other noted people who do wrestling, especially for wrestling, do not do. So
for like the entire well, I mean, no, that's easy enough to do. Actually, I can give you an answer right now. Here, Larson,
right?
right?
Do an average of every segment.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Isn't that how I have not watched one all the way through the end, even though I love the man Adam Pacitti when he does his graded. Doesn't he do like an average of all the grades that he puts in there?
I don't recall.
I think he does.
All right, give me your numbers.
4.5.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was 4.
Okay.
3.
All right.
2.5.
All right.
Half a star.
All right.
2.5.
Is that it?
That's it.
How many numbers do you have in total?
Oh crap!
Like how many segments? Sorry, how many segments are there?
Well, you can just look at the number of stars.
I didn't write them down. They're I put them in the calculator in my phone.
Okay. Crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. About 2 3/4.
2 3/4. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a 3-star SmackDown, especially given what we're going through these days. Like, I don't expect much at all. I'm telling you, man, Raw really needs to go to 2 hours.
I've been saying that for a long time, man. Dangum Q says Brian Zane does star ratings for pay-per-views.
Oh, for entire pay-per-views? Okay.
This is for Raw and SmackDown. You might have the market cornered on this.
Yeah, maybe.
Everybody has ratings for matches.
Yeah.
How many people dole out star ratings for Raw and SmackDown?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. You just average them out. Average out all the bits and pieces, and then you have your star rating for the show. So in this case,
let me ask you this.
2
Let me ask you this.
What?
The half-star, should matches be weighted more than promos? They take up more time.
Irrelevant.
Okay.
What's your next reason?
They're actually the focus of wrestling programming is wrestling matches.
Debatable. Have you ever watched WCW in the year 2000?
I have.
It's all promos.
But they had matches there too. I mean, it just kind of feels like if you take that half-star Baron promo out, which is really short, your star rating is going to go up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Should 90 seconds of him talking, just like completely tank the ranking for an entire show?
For Baron, yes, because he was on the show.
But then okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I should have given him a 1.5 stars, to be honest with you. Because he memorized all his lines. He delivered it with conviction.
So
I have a Baron Corbin bias.
So 1.5 stars is the rating for competence.
1.5 stars the rating for competence for Baron Corbin. For my bias, yes. You're doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better than he usually does if he gets a 1.5 stars.
Spideyville said, so wait, Larson is trying to rate SmackDown higher than Steve now, after saying at the start that it wasn't as good as Steve made it out to be.
We got to fix those intros, man, because every time I throw to you for an intro, you just shit on it. So,
We're gonna fix it. I thought it was all right. What else am I supposed to say? And I went on and I would explain why I thought it was all right.
No, we got to fix the intros. I'm just going to come up with a different way. I don't know what I expected. That's on me. Would you like to answer some questions?
I just kind of feel like every time you ask me what the show is, and I think it's an all right show, I'd say, yeah, it was all right. And I explain why. This was no different.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to come up with a different way to do intros.
All right.
It's okay. It was my fault. It was on me. I should have known. So it's my bad. My fault.
All right.
You live and learn.
All right.
You are what I thought you are.
Oh, God.
Let's see here.
Snare Freak has a question. This is a great one. Summer hot dog question. Mustard or ketchup?
Oh, mustard. 100% mustard.
No, I'm a 100% ketchup guy. I only like mustard in my hot dogs if it's a Chicago dog. Otherwise, ketchup all the way.
Church Jackson. How much of the devil's lettuce would you consume with Matt Riddle if you both lived in a state where lettuce is legal? I am in a state where lettuce is legal.
Same here, and I feel like if it was he and I, my intake would not be that much because that's not something I generally do.
It would depend on the situation, I guess. Like if I felt peer pressure, I probably wouldn't indulge.
But how much? That's the question. How much?
Oh, enough that I could get myself home safely.
All right.
I mean, via Uber, but yeah, still.
Ethion, book the tag match, does not have a lackluster ending like every other table match. Because far too often, table matches, the end happens when someone accidentally goes through a table. Right.
Yeah. It's always on accident. Those matches always end on accident. I would have rather seen Big E fuck a cage. Well, I mean, that's what Cesaro was saying he would do.
Mm-hmm. This is a great point from Gareth Nicholas. A non-casual viewer watched the Hardy segment with me tonight and legitimately asked, what's entertaining about this? I could not answer. Have you had similar cringy experiences explaining pro wrestling to people?
Okay, yeah. I mean, not like pro wrestling in general, but trying to explain like the minutia. Like if I've just watched a really shitty segment and somebody happens to be in the room with me, it's a walk of shame. It's horrible. It's like it makes you not want to watch wrestling.
Yeah. Fear and Loathing says, do you think WWE finally realized how awful the Sheamus Hardy feud is by giving it like 15 seconds of attention on the Go Home show? No, because this could be the main event next week.
They've given it a lot of attention over the past couple weeks. So, yeah, no, I think that they've done plenty. Yes. I was just happy to see that Sheamus is back at the tapings. You just never know what it means when they're staying home for a lot of time. So I'm happy that he's back and that seemingly he's good to go, you know?
Yeah.
It's always good to see. The electrician Scotty Sparks. Am I the only one who has issues with watching SmackDown? I don't know if it's just my TV, but the frame rate gives me motion sickness. Maybe how is Scotty Sparks like in his mid-60s? Maybe he has true motion on Larson.
Maybe that's one of those things. Remember back in the 80s where they did the inflatable movie theater out in the parking lot and they had the roller coaster movie that was first person? That was supposed to like replicate the roller coaster experience. That would give him motion sickness as a kid. So maybe he's got a similar setup at his home theater.
SmackDown did not take place on a roller coaster tonight, though.
But based on how you describe it, your star ratings, it was a roller coaster experience. Ups and downs.
There were many ups and downs.
And lows.
But emotional ups and downs generally don't give a person motion sickness.
But you can get a physical reaction based on extreme emotional instances.
I don't disagree. Scotty Sparks here seems to think it's a technical issue. I'm sorry, I don't work at Best Buy. I'm not part of the Geek Squad. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, but not today. I would suggest checking, if he says it's SmackDown, check, maybe see if you can find some, like, I mean, I know there's not a lot of sports right now, but like sometimes sports broadcasts will do that. Check your settings on your TV, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Fear and Loathing. I'd like to give a shout out to all the unsolved maniacs in Friendoville. He says, "Oh, you shot me, brother."
Oh, man. Another great Unsolved Mystery stream last night with the Enforcer. Just terrific. 2 horses, 4 updates.
Oh, the horses are back.
Doesn't get better than that. Well, yeah, there was an old-timey prospector who went missing, and he had like a giant fortune left behind. They were trying to find his relatives. Of course, some scumbag comes out of the woodwork, says, "Oh, yeah, I'm the guy."
Interesting.
Good stuff. Alex Foster, how much different would wrestling storylines and matches be if wrestlers in kayfabe acknowledged wrestling math? Oh, like the wrestling math, like leading up to pay-per-views. I feel like I am an observer of their universe. I understand the dimensions and laws and physics of their universe. They cannot be aware of that stuff.
Yeah, they're in there acting on emotion in the heat of competition. Even if they were aware of math, given the circumstances, I doubt that would be first and foremost on their minds. Boo Boo Reloaded said Kayla Braxton tested for Rona a couple weeks ago. Second time and was doing interviews. Is that kind of unsafe? They would not let her back in the building unless they thought she was free and clear.
That said, that was the only thing on my mind when she was doing those interviews tonight. I was like, God, can't they just give all the wrestlers their own interview mics? Or just do the entire, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they use a boom for all that anyway, so the mic is just a prop.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how to get away from that. Dog Authority figure. Is it too late for Nakamura or Cesaro to be a world champion? No. Jinder Mahal proved that any person at any time, no matter where they are on the card, can be a world champion.
Mm-hmm. Matt the Mewtwo. I think Sasha is going to beat Asuka and Bayley will lose to Nikki. Hoping that Sasha's match goes after Bayley. After beating Asuka, Bayley goes down the ring to celebrate with Sasha, but then attacks her. They'll do a complete 180 on people's expectations. They'll also make Sasha look even more like a babyface because she dealt with Bayley being SmackDown Women's Champion and Women's Tag Champion. Additionally, it'll give Bayley more heel heat because after just one moment of her friend having more success. It's not a bad scenario. Not a bad scenario.
Matt Doolittle might be more appropriate for Ask Steve and Larson, but what is a movie or TV show that you watched, admired it for its quality, but have zero desire to revisit? He mentions Requiem for a Dream. That's actually a movie that I saw many, many times, and I love it. But I do have an answer, and it's Irreversible.
I mean, I could say that for a lot of like Oscar movies. It's like I could watch it and appreciate it for its craft, appreciate the work that went into it, the performances, even the direction. A lot of times I'll watch it, it's like, yeah, it was all right. Don't need to watch it again.
Wait, which movie was that?
I'm just saying, like a lot of the Prestige award fair, just like a lot of that.
It's funny. Zondo here mentions Interstellar, and I actually did watch that. Couldn't stand how like the second half of that movie went down. Then I watched it again just because I really enjoyed the first half of it, and I wanted to see if maybe I was just missing something. Turns out I wasn't, and it's a really bad second half of a movie. Oh,
I'll say Inception. You're talking about Christopher Nolan movies. Like I appreciate from a technical standpoint all they did in the movie. I didn't really enjoy it the first time, so that's probably why I will never watch it again. But I could appreciate the effort that went into it.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that movie because of that. Like when you pull off a technological feat like that, I'm just like, hey, you know what? Did the movie, hit me emotionally? Maybe not, but Jesus, what a feat that is.
So I guess for me, from a technological standpoint, by and large, I can watch it once and appreciate that. But for repeat viewings, I need something else.
For repeat viewings, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. If it was on TNT and the remote control was on the couch, I probably wouldn't get up because I like all the cast is really good and is really cool to watch. But if I have my remote control in hand, I'm going to watch something else.
Aberson, any Slammiversary predictions for tomorrow? We actually did Slammiversary predictions in today's news brief.
News brief today. You can check them all out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Thayer Thabata says, I've noticed that the Friendoverse live show threads have gotten less and less lively over the last month or so, which is a bummer because it's genuinely made watching much more fun. Sorry, I'm trying to talk. Now, of course, the pandemic has something to do with it. What are some other factors why you think that some longtime fans have seemingly stopped watching and engaging in not just Raw and SmackDown, but even NXT and AEW, who have consistently strong shows? I don't think pandemic has something to do with it. I think pandemic has like 95% to do with it. I just think that, dude, it's just not as compelling. It isn't. Like, the fans, you got to have a big, packed, hot place. Like, by and large, anyways, wrestling shows can live or die. You can have an average wrestling show, and if the crowd is into everything, it'll elevate that show far beyond what it should. Mm-hmm. If you have a really good show and the crowd is crap, it is not fun to watch. Just isn't. No.
We've talked about this a lot. There's people's viewing habits maybe just changing because so much else has changed. I think there's a lot of factors involved, but the viewing experience being so vastly different is definitely high up on the list. Roy Rogers asked, should Nikki and Alexa break up before Sasha and Bayley as a surprise move in their storyline?
I don't
want to see that. If the only motivation, I don't want to see that, and if the only motivation is to do it so it's a surprise because we're expecting Sasha and Bayley to break up, that's the wrong reason to do it. They should do it because they got a story they want to tell of it. They shouldn't just do it because they think it's a shock that could surprise people.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing that. I really like them together. And at this point, it just wouldn't be what is Alexa. Let's say Alexa's the person to turn. I think the more interesting story would be Nikki has already said that Alexa was sort of the one to keep her together, she was like, hey, she reached out to me, she saw me for who I am, and she really befriended me. I think it'd be cool if all this loss of confidence, if all this losing reverted Nikki to her sanity form, and Alexa's trying desperately to get her back, but she can't, and she loses her friend, and that's how the split happens. I don't want to just be, Alexa all of a sudden is a dick again and turns on Nikki, and then Nikki's the one we're supposed to be crying over. I don't want to see that. I think it'd be much more interesting to go the other way.
Yeah. That being said, they'll probably do it the way we don't want to see.
Yep.
This is a good question from White Brownie 92. If Randy Orton were to start an Evolution 2.0 stable, who from each brand would you love to see join him?
So who's the old timer?
Well, he would be.
He's the Triple H guy.
I know, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. It's not out of the realm of possibility. He's pretty old. How old was Flair when Flair
was in his 50s. Is Orton even in his 40s yet?
Yes, he's older. He's like your age, man. He's got to be.
I guess that's right. He's got to be in his early 40s, I suppose.
He's like 43 or something.
He was like 22 when he debuted.
I'm going to say he's 44. Oh, God. Okay, never mind. He's younger than us. He is just turned 40.
Wow.
3 months ago.
Wow.
I'd have figured 42.
All right, so yeah, he would be in the Triple H role. Have Triple H be in the Flair role.
There you go. Yeah, but Triple H still books himself really strong.
All right, someone that wasn't an Evolution. Can't have two people that were in Evolution.
Yeah, it's a good point also.
About his dad. Is his dad still around?
Bob?
Yeah.
He's not dead.
Okay, that's what
that's your question.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
That's a sweet euphemism. Is he still around?
Why not have his dad then?
Bobby Roode. He's already buried. Bobby Roode is buried beyond belief.
Yeah. So you need a couple of younger up and coming type guys.
Andrade.
Yeah, Andrade's a good pick. I mean, honestly, if it was Randy, Andrade, Garza, Like the three of them, that'd be awesome.
Asian Murr says Mark Jindrak returns to fulfill his prophecy. That dude was still wrestling as of not that long ago.
Yeah.
Moses supposes, which is your preference for tag team tables match? The first team to be put through the table loses, or both members must be put through tables.
I think both members. Then it's kind of like an elimination tag match situation.
I think both members need to be put through the same table at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Because then you have to actually like do something impressive and not just like move out of the way while somebody's charging at you.
Zondo, what fast food company would have the best wrestling federation using their mascots? I mean, McDonald's is top because they have the most mascots.
Yeah, they have like a whole civilization. They've got a whole city. They have a mayor.
Mm-hmm.
They have a moon. They have a planetary body. Mac Tonight.
Yeah, Mac Tonight. Perhaps my favorite McDonald's character.
Really? Is it because he's a planetary body?
Might have something to do with it.
Yeah. He's a mysterious guy.
That too.
Blake, White House, would you rather have Bayley and Sasha feud over the women's title or have Bayley drop it to Mandy so she could have it in her feud with Sonya? Bayley drop it to Mandy. I don't really want her to drop it to Mandy. I'd want this is what I'd want to have happen. Have Bayley and Sasha do their thing separate from the title. Bayley drops the title to Nikki. Nikki drops the title to Sonya.
All right.
Sonya keeps it forever. The end.
Sounds good. I'm just trying to do something. I liked how AJ walked away from the mat beatdown. Top 3 wrestlers that should mind their own business.
That's a good point. He was like, "Hey, my name's Bennett."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, the Young Bucks for the longest time. Still kind of the Young Bucks.
Yeah, they get in everybody's business.
They get in everybody's business. They were the worst at that.
Yeah. That's a good question from Joey. This one's for you. How many stars would the Uso and New Day rap battle have gotten? Just rewatched the uncensored version earlier today. So good.
You can't give it less than 4 3/4.
That's a 5-star segment, man. That's a perfect segment. Perfect.
It is pretty perfect.
It was perfect.
I was about to say something and I can't. Let's see here. Well, I got a filter email. Can't say everything that comes to mind. Hunter Vandement. If you could replace any wrestling match with a cinematic match, what would it be? Oh, we got this question a lot.
Yeah, end of an era.
That's like the best answer. One of those Flair Steamboat Chicago matches. What was it? Chi-Town, what was it?
Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Chi-Town Rumble. But it would be like through the city streets of Chicago with deep dish pizza.
Delicious. Chicago dogs.
Chicago dogs. Yeah.
So Nightbot's getting a lot of heat here in chat. Joe Juarez says Nightbot likes In-N-Out fries on their own. Wow.
Yeah, Nightbot has like the worst heel heat I've ever seen in our chat. But like I had Nightbot. I very politely asked Nightbot to push out links to our friendomerch.com store and the link to the new 10 for the win tomorrow. Because you could set a reminder. It's going to go premiere 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Rob Zerver edited it again. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And our crowd, Nightbot shoving things down the crowd's throat didn't go over well with the crowd. 200 people watching, and it's just they're all running down Nightbot. At one point, Nightbot, I didn't even program this. Nightbot said, "Screw you guys, I'm out of here." That was shocking. I didn't know Nightbot could do that. And then I haven't heard from Nightbot since.
A complete and utter lack of professionalism.
There's some sort of Skynet thing going on with that Nightbot.
Enforcer asks, what member of the Smackdown roster would most likely prank his wife long con style that there was a ghost in the house? I assume this is Unsolved Mysteries, right?
This dude couldn't even keep from laughing. He was laughing half his answers while his dullard wife thought there was a ghost in the house, and it was obvious that he was simply pranking her, dude. telling you guys got to tune in on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern for these Unsolved Mystery streams. These are great. That guy was next level troll. Man.
That's something else. Night by night, what wrestler would be most likely to fall for the romantic lure of the carnival?
Again, this kid, 14 years old, goes missing. The last time he was seen is at a carnival. His parents say, hey, he's been missing for 2 days. The cops say, we think he just was lured in, or we think he got wrapped up in the romantic lure of the carnival circuit. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Something else. Hunter V. Ooh, Nightbot doesn't wear a mask in public. Wow.
Not shocking. Let's see here. Patrick Sparks, the B-Man. How different would commentary be if instead of looking at the mini monitor and see what they see on TV, they watch the live action in the ring and commentated on it from that perspective? Would it be better or worse? It would be worse.
It'd be way worse because they'd talk about stuff the camera was not showing.
They'd be trying to look across the other side of the ring. They wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Owen Lynch, do you guys think Sasha and Bayley have reached the level of Jericho and Owens where they are so good everyone sees a split coming but nobody wants it?
They're getting there.
I'm there. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. They're too good.
This is a great question. Omega Advent. Someone comes to you and asks you to persuade them into watching NXT by presenting a match from there. What match do you pick? Which one match from NXT do you show someone if you're trying to persuade them to watch NXT?
Probably Asuka versus Nikki Cross.
I mean, you haven't even been persuaded to watch that one.
Everybody is trying to persuade me to watch it, though, and that makes me think it's pretty damn good.
Telling you to watch it for a while. I'll say Bayley and Sasha from Brooklyn won. And then also,
God, that's so good.
And then also probably Gargano Andrade from TakeOver Philly.
A lot of people are saying Sami Zayn versus Nakamura.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good. I was trying to think of something that wasn't too long because some of the TakeOver matches, especially the main events, are really.
You know
long.
what I'd get them to watch? Jackson Riker's first match in NXT when he had to redo his finisher 3 times.
That wasn't even his first match though. I thought it was like his second or third.
Oh man.
Yeah, because his first match he had a different finish.
Man, just career torpedoed in a single tweet, Larson.
Yep.
Let's see here. We got one more here from Andrew Jocelyn. We're never getting a New Day split or feud, but I'd love to see Big E versus Kofi in a few friendly matches, maybe even a title feud. That'd be interesting. It would add a new wrinkle to their relationship. It's crazy how much they have managed to remain relevant and entertaining over, what has it been, 5-6 years now?
Yeah, I think about 5 years, 6 years maybe.
I know they just celebrated an anniversary. I forget which one it was, if it was 5 or 6. But, man, that is absolutely insane.
Yep.
Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be there this Sunday for Extreme Rules. The horror show at the Extreme Rules.
Yeah, get it right. Come on.
Sorry. And
how many stars do you give the name of that pay-per-view?
God, I don't know. Either 4 or 1. It's either like a half star or 4.5. I don't know. I think I love it, but it is a mouthful.
Yeah.
It's something different. It's something new. Maybe if the logo was a little bit better, I'd be more into it.
Yeah, the logo is horrible.
The logo is not good at all. But the actual the poster image, the color scheme is beautiful. It's a really nice looking poster.
Very vibrant.
It's really nice. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Twitch chat, stay tuned. Well, I haven't seen Drayville. We owe him a raid. But maybe,
I thought I saw him in chat.
Maybe we'll raid somebody. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.